Are you trying to let go of something in your life? And despite your efforts and your sincerity, you're not able to let go? And perhaps sometimes you feel like you're not good enough or not competent enough, that the whole internet is filled with the advice of letting go. The whole spiritual circle is giving the same advice of letting go, and you've tried everything and it's not working. What are you trying to let go of in your life? Maybe you recently had a breakup and it's hard to forget that partner. It's hard to delete their photos. It's hard to delete those messages. It's hard to delete them from your memory, and you're trying very hard to let go of that and it's not working. Maybe it's a job interview that you failed. It could be anything that you were trying to let go. And so many people around are always trying to let go of something, as if letting go is an action that you can do. Yes, it's a paradigm shift in thinking. I already made a video on that a few months ago. Early morning on my rooftop, I just woke up and reflected on this. And it was liked by more than 300,000 people, viewed by more than 300,000 people. And I thought I'll go a little bit in details to explain what I meant in that video, and to those who are sincere to pay more attention to what I need to say today. Letting go is a practice that is not just a recent fad, but it's been suggested in various spiritual traditions and religions. My understanding of letting go is that letting go is an outcome, is a result. It's not an activity, it's not an action. It's the outcome of an action. It's not the fruit. It's the action that yields the fruit. Letting go happens, just like meditation happens. An experience happens in your life, and it's unpleasant or unfavorable to you, and you want to forget it and move on, but it's not happening, and you're trying to force this process. You can color it with spiritual methods, you can color it with all kind of therapies and retreats, but bottom line is the same, that there are some unwanted, unpleasant feelings in you, thinkings in you, and you don't want to have them anymore. The fact that you don't want to have them anymore is perhaps the reason why they are so predominantly existing in you. So the art of letting go is not in letting go, but in understanding deeply. Despite you have this desire to let go, you still have this inner contradiction in which a part of you wants to hold on and the other part wants to let go. When a fruit ripens on a tree, the tree immediately relinquishes that fruit. This letting go happens spontaneously, naturally. So when your understanding is ripened enough, letting go will happen. It may take weeks, months, or years, but it needs its own time. It needs its own processing. You can consciously process that you can do and you must do. But when the letting go happens, you don't know. You can create certain conditions for it without putting the pressure, without putting a time pressure, without taking a time pressure as well, that it's been 6 months, I still haven't let go, because you haven't yet understood the lesson or the lessons that need to come from it. That's why you haven't let go yet. And anyway, these unpleasant feelings and sensations and emotions that are so part of you and you're so tired of them, they are screaming to be looked at. They're screaming to be treated as you treat your positive emotions, if not at least neutrally. The more you push them away, the more they reclaim their place in you. What they need is to be looked at. They don't need this resisting and pushing away. What they need is to be gently looked at. In fact, in clearly looking, in clearly seeing what it is, it drops itself. you don't want to rush any process in your life. You don't want to rush any decisions in your life. You don't want to move in life in a sense of rush anyway. Let things run its course. What you need to do is to understand yourself, understand life deeply. What you need is to go deeper into the nature and essence of life. Go deeper into feeling it deeply, totally. If, let's say, by various methods, you manage to suppress all these emotions, whatever it was, but when the right context comes, a right place, right time, the right person shows up, all these old feelings will wake up again. And you would feel like a fool because you thought you had already let go of this long back. But all the feelings come rushing. And this is also the nature of most things. They don't really go away completely. They're somewhere suppressed in the deep unconscious or subconscious. And you don't want your dealings with anything to be half done. Because then you run the risk of repeating, re-going through all the process that you had gone through. And it becomes tiring. And it also becomes addictive. So you start enjoying the process more than the outcome that you were looking for in the first place. If you put it into a right perspective, and you see that duality is essential nature of earthly life, everything comes with its dual counterpart. You can either embrace everything in its totality, but you cannot just pick one. Picking one inevitably brings the other. Always choosing happiness inevitably brings sorrow. Always choosing highs in life inevitably brings you down. So understand this nature of life, that everything comes with its partner. Every experience goes up and down, back and forth, day and night, dark and light. And humans are bound to make mistakes with each other. Humans in relationship with other humans are bound to create also with other creatures and life in general. But we are inherently flawed in this way, that we keep learning and relearning, keep making mistakes and relearning. And now, perhaps the hard part of this conversation is that you cannot really deeply trust anybody, including yourself. Because you'll be surprised that if you had an image, okay, this is the nice person, this is the soft person, this is the kind person, this person never lies, they will surprise you. And by being aware of how it all works, you won't be surprised, because you knew that it can happen anytime, that anybody can surprise me, anybody can shock me. I surprise myself all the time. I shock myself all the time. I thought I cannot have these feelings anymore, and they come up rushing a decade later. And it should give you a humility of human condition, and also it will put your expectations in its place. We are seeing the world in an image that we create of the world. We are not going deep enough to see clearly how it works. So the image shatters. We think the world has shattered. It's only the image shatters. And letting go is actually renunciation. And renunciation comes by seeing clearly. When you see clearly, for example, the nature of desires, when you were a child, you were looking for small toys, and when you grew up, you were looking for big toys. Your little toy car turned into a real car. A little house game that you played with your friends turned into a real house that you wanted to build with a swimming pool and whatnot. The nature of desire is that they're continuous, they're repeating, and they're never fulfilled. When you can just see it clearly, not intellectually, but deeply, when you see it clearly, you realize that this is how it runs. And then letting go, renouncing happens. You cannot just renounce. Now, of course, you see the culture of renunciation is everywhere. In India, so many monks are there, Buddhist renunciates, Christian renunciates. But that is just a process. They have announced the renunciation. The renunciation happens or not is another thing. By wearing a robe, by moving to a monastery, does not mean that you've renounced. You've taken a step. Yes, that's true. But renouncing means that you've seen clearly, that your mind has attained equilibrium, that you are even equanimous in the face of hardship and also in the face of being high in life, receiving so many praise and awards and not getting drunk in that success. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is that is going on in your life, seek holy, deep understanding. Your intellectual mind can easily understand things, but it's the habit this body has for millions of years. It takes time to train your body. So be in touch with your body and feel your emotions in your body. Move your body with those feelings. Don't just think and overthink. That will not help. Bring a totality of understanding. Go deeper into the question of life itself. And you see how you won't have to let go of every particular thing. This person insults you, now you have to let go of this, and then another person insults you, now you have to let go of that, then another breakup happens, you have to how many times will you let go? I'm a lazy person, I don't like to do the same thing again and again. So if you want to cut the problem by its root, you want to take the question of the essence of life, of the nature of reality. And then you see that a serene detachment follows from that. Again, you can't practice detachment. A serene detachment follows from that. Are you following me? You cannot practice detachment. You cannot practice renunciation. You cannot practice meditation. You cannot practice letting go. These things are the outcome of your interaction, your sincere, total interaction with life, with the question of life. That's how I see it. Of course, people see it very differently as well, but that's how I see it. That's how it works for me. So I suggest you do the same. Who is it that is trying to let go? Who are you that is trying to let go? You, a small, limited entity, living in this vast, magnanimous world, are trying to let go of small events in your life. You have separated yourself. And I'm not blaming you. You is us for millions of years. Language has done this to us, and many other things have done this to us. We have separated ourselves from the rest of the world while we are an intricate part of it. We are not in the center, we are not special, we are just one of it, with its unique characteristics. This separate you is your ego, is your thought. You as a personality, you as a person trying to let go of something else. This all will go away if you realize that there is no separation. You don't have the feeling of anger towards somebody. You are the anger, and the anger is you. Okay, let's not go there further. I would like to actually talk about the observer is the observed, and there we could discuss that in details. Anyway, you can also listen to these talks on Spotify and Apple Podcast. The link will be in the description, and I'll see you soon.